folks, Dave here, and welcome to part 4 of my Sanctuary Hills Fallout build. This has been a massive project, and as you guys can see, a lot of editing to get all the video parts out. If you're coming in late to the project, be sure and check out the first 3 parts to catch up on where things are here at Sanctuary Hills, so you're not lost. Stay tuned after the main tour for a massive battle for Sanctuary, where both Super Mutants and the Brotherhood of Steel will test their mettle against its defenses. For now, let's continue the tour with my good friend Joel, as we tour the slums outside of town. So that is our underground clinic. That little design with the roots that I added is actually one of my favorite, I think, simple designs in the whole settlement. It feels very creepy and like...
I like that.
Imagine discovering that, just like in someone's backyard. That'd be pretty cool. So Joel, at 19 FPS, we've already seen our water supply here. Which is most of our drinking water. We've come full circle inside the wall. We're back at the front gate once again, which is still cleaning everybody who enters with the water spraying anti-rad meds. That leaves our shantytown. So let's climb up the defensive wall here, where again we have yet another place where we can shoot out over the shantytown. What an awful place to live. Have you wondered, Joel, how the poor folks who live out there fit into Sanctuary Hills society?
I am actually kind of curious.
We know that
I know there's a drug running ring that's coming into it, but...
Yeah, and again, the vents for the underground.
Always watching.
And up here at the garden, I turned to make sure you couldn't quite see. Another vent right there for the hospital.
I'm walking guards like, do you hear that whispering down there and the cackling of the drugs? That's probably nothing. You can all hear him going, these drugs are awesome.
Awesome, 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 awesome.
Yeah, I know. Should we investigate? Who cares? Ain't my part of my job.
Let's check out the shantytown. This build is almost 2 towns in one. This one being a lot smaller, of course, but I really thought the game was going to crash. This is almost like a small bonus town. It actually worked pretty well, and I love how the slightly transparent water looks with all the boards. It just, honestly, it'd be kind of fun living in like a shanty town over the water. It's a neat concept. I like this a lot. And again, Joel, all these planks, one by one, placed as they go. These right here, 3 separate planks. 1, 2, 3. The lantern hanging, gotta tilt it just a bit. Turret's always watching. Restricted area sign I totally forgot about from the previous build. They also are only given a slight amount of power from inside of the walls, so they also have to provide some of their own, like with this windmill right here. So the official jobs, leaning power pole right here, notice where that power is going. Their official jobs are to take care of our central water pumps for the water system for all of the plants and trees inside the walls. This water is too dirty for drinking for the most part, but we have to have some seriously heavy-duty pumps to pump that water in and keep those trees alive. So, the people who live outside the walls, their background checks aren't good enough.
Their lives are to help keep the trees alive.
They can look at the wall. Look, they can look at them. It's all...
These guys are gonna have an uprising. They will join my forces so fast.
So how they earn caps to pay for rations and stay alive outside of the donations from the church is they do some fishing for the diner inside. We're very picky, so what we don't buy from them, they have to eat. We pick only the best for inside of the walls. But again, they also are in charge of keeping those pumps running. That's how they earn their caps with their food. There's a fishing pole right there and a view of the water. And that's that extra entrance there on the side. And we're turning back around. They also are mostly in charge of their own defenses. There's a little guard booth there.
Are they allowed any guns?
I mean, they have some of their own guns. They just... Anybody who points a gun inside of the walls is considered a threat, so they're very careful where their muzzles point.
See the guy just kind of... shot immediately.
Officially, we don't condone this construction. We were going to take care of the pumps ourselves, but a little community basically built up for people who weren't allowed in. Their background checks, they were former raiders or gunners, and they just couldn't get in. the community kind of built itself. So we're allowing them to stay, but we weren't allowing this originally. They should be thankful, is what I'm trying to say.
They are thankful.
All kinds of broken down ramps to get over to the living quarters. Some barge from the lake that has washed downstream and has been used to build sleeping quarters here. Some of the bottles at night, so you don't like. What if you like stepped right there and just fell? It pulls you under all the debris and stuff. Got a tower here with some storage and an area where you can kind of overlook the work, look inside the gray house and all its splendor and all of the statues.
So who came up with the name the Gray House?
I did.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Because we have the White House, obviously, and it's kind of a tan color. So
I didn't think about that.
It's the Gray House.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Because your morals are very gray.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Also, my politics are kind of gray because they're mostly involving me. They're fake politics. There's a look at the bridge and the outside part of the settlement. They're living in somewhat shelter. Not anything amazing, but it's livable. I also worked hard when building this to leave it not boxy. There's all kinds of like crappy extensions that they built on. Nothing's really squared off. A lot of the roofs overhang awkwardly. There's plenty of places for it to leak. This guy has like a railing instead of a full wall right here. I just feel like falling into that current would suck. With all of this crap built on top of it, you could get stuck down there pretty badly.
This is why it sucks to live
Hey, you got some shelter. More planks, all again hand placed. One by
here.
one.
What do they eat?
Well, if they have the caps. This is some more sleeping quarters. We'll just go through here briefly. 18 FPS. I just saw it go down again. There's our stove, crappy stove to keep the heat going inside here. It goes out the roof.
And the heat goes out the roof too.
We got their utility outfit for working on the water purifiers. Gotta have your mechanic's outfit. It's your uniform provided. Well, not provided by the Minutemen.
Just the uniforms. It just like makes me cringe. I'm like, oh, I hate this place so much. Get into your uniform, boy. It's like, can I just work? Can I just wear a regular outfit? Uniform.
Uniform. But that's so we know we don't shoot them when they start working on the condensers and the purifiers. If you're not wearing the uniform and you start tinkering with one of them, you're gonna get shot.
Oh my gosh. This is their little like food area.
This is their little store. Notice what's different about this one compared to the market, which had like a security gate. This is kind of just like open air, so all of the goods are locked up tight because no one trusts anybody out here. So the merchant keeps everything secured when he's not there. And a lot of the survivors living here are either out like working on scrap or stuff like that out in the wasteland. So the town's pretty empty today. I think she's the one that's mending the store while people are gone. Don't give me that look. This is where they're cooking up some of the stew, some of the hobo stew on the side of the barge. Some of the fishing equipment. And this partially broken staircase here, it like kind of fell a little bit, leads up to gotta climb up it to the main gate like this, which you just feel like you're instantly like in like a happy clouds there, and like the lighting's better. It's just so much brighter and happier. Sanctuary Hill. So here's the main gate. That's where that staircase is right here that goes down to the side. That's looking down to the village. Again, it's like a town on top of a town.
Yeah.
If I could have found an easy way to do it, I would have definitely made this like a loading cell. But I was like, that's just too much work. I'll just torture the game instead.
Why don't you take a
More
night
planks and placed. It's our gangway over to the central sleeping quarters, and some firewood for the fire barrels. More of the lights so that you can
That's cool.
not fall into the undercurrent as you're walking. What's over here? Yeah, we got lots of sleeping quarters. Not a whole lot of possessions, as you can tell. A lot of people just come through here, rent a room craftily for the night. Gosh, I really did put fireplaces for all the buildings. I'm forgetting some of this stuff.
Gosh.
Their bathrooms are pretty crappy, quite literally.
Poor guy who had to be in a wheelchair there, like getting down all those steps. This place is not wheelchair accessible. The apocalypse sucks.
There you go. The apocalypse sucks. For some. For some.
For you, you love it.
And those buckets, Joel. If they're caught throwing the slop into the river water, they get fined. Their rations are cut and their caps are cut. So they have to carry their slop buckets like over the bridge and like off into the wasteland. They can't dump it in the river because that's Sanctuary's river. They're squatters basically. We're allowing them to stay.
They're squatting for sure. But
And here's one of our cooks cooking up something fancy for the cafe down below.
Man, fancy.
It's not even a cafe. It's like it's a slumlord cafe. Got some Nuka-Cola back there.
Everything's broken.
Compare this fish preparation back deck to the general's quarters back deck on the Gray House. Like this is their equivalent.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, like, the table's just like wood barrels.
The fish guts too. Imagine the smell. Some poor
You
person.
don't have any regular generators in yours, do you?
Not at all. Only the pump ones to keep the plants alive. It's all fusion. So we'll go out this crappy broken side door here. Ow. Now my leg's broken. This settlement sucks. More scrappy boards. Heading down into the low plains where someone's got like a desperate little campfire going down here in the shallows of the river itself. Cooking some extra meat.
That's cool.
They do appear to have plenty of food at least. Thanks to the rations. And yeah, there's their bathtub, literally in the river. You just splash around a bit. That's gotta be cold too.
Oh, so cold. That's why the campfire right there. Stay warm.
There you go. And then there's the swan boat that they're using drug from somewhere as a platform to get to this crappy sleeping shack, full of holes and leaks.
He runs the bathhouse.
Oh yeah, I bet he charges for the tub, the crappy tub in the water. And
then he watches.
Oh yeah, the window's right there.
He's just like, yeah, it's only 5 caps.
There's a reason it's so cheap.
I just want to peek.
Some crappy walls to defend the bathhouse. And we can head back up here. Just
You know what I
trash
call a
and
good day?
debris and junk
One that
everywhere.
ends
And
without
notice
an
right there,
empty
Joel,
stomach.
that's the pipe exit for the smuggling route to get underground. So at nighttime, they'll wait until all the guards are, kind of taking things easy for the night. And they'll go into the shadows under the bridge and sneak into the water system. Over here, we'll come back around in a minute. That's a little sleeping and kind of just general living quarters. But we have one more thing to look at over here. Lower the drawbridge. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
I just love the bridge under the bridge, basically. It feels like you're a hobo now, like you're under the bridge.
Yeah.
You're literally living under the bridge.
No, if you live here and then there's people who live under that bridge, there's 2 layers of hoboism.
It's people living like just with their chins out of the water. Over here we've got some more storage, with its primary purpose being the facilitation of repairs of the water purification system that we've built here in this kind of old boat dock here. And this poor guy,
Careful.
his background check failed and he is looking a bit depressed about it.
This is my life.
Don't do it, buddy. Don't throw yourself into the water. It's so radioactive. Even their walkways are kind of crappy. You kind of have to like jump over to this one. And we have this cool defensive location from a car that was floating downstream.
That's
They've
cool.
built it up with some plywood and some sandbags. Use a ladder to help hold up the canopy and some pikes. And this tree log here. So you've got a bit of a defensive perimeter, but again, you're kind of exposed. Like you have this nice electrified wall behind you. You have to defend yourself in front of that. That sucks.
Like they're your first warning, you know what I mean? Like when someone's getting attacked, they're like, if you hear the screaming outside, you know attack's about to happen.
Yep. And more
Someone's sitting inside there, the water is...
more flooded trucks. You gotta kind of hop your way over to more shanty locations here on the riverside, where our lower classes outside the walls are living. Again, look at the walls, like all starting to collapse and lean. Like, you feel just off kilter in this entire building. But this is how they live. I mean, maybe they should have thought about the possibility of a good place to live before they did all those bad things to get on the General Dave naughty list and fail those background checks. Outside of this part of this shanty town, you can see we've got a little bit of that grass just bleeding through a bit. It leaks quite a bit outside the walls. This could really be the start of a change in the Commonwealth.
Are you, I feel like your character eventually becomes in New Vegas, that one guy up in the hotel. Yeah. No, Mr. House.
Mr. House?
Yeah, that's it, Mr. House.
quite
You're
possible.
that guy that loves the corpse. It's like, I'm still alive.
And see, right here we have their primary purpose in life as far as Sanctuary is concerned. Keep our water pumps going. The water in this game can look really good sometimes. It looks pretty awesome. Up, he's calling it a night. Time to stop sulking and go to, I guess, buy a drink at the bar. Got their tools here. It's a cool little pipe light. Notice that power, Joel, is provided for the pump and some of these lights by Sanctuary. That's the only
it.
power they get is for the pumps.
I feel like I were them, like I'd maybe like steal a little bit, you know, like.
And rations cut.
I'm sure someone's checking the wattage. Like, that's a little bit too much. Take a little bit, and.
Did you see that filing cabinet room, Joel? We check everything.
Oh gosh.
So this is an alternate staircase that goes up this side. So, do you even notice, Joel, when we first went in the gate, there was like a staircase that went down both sides?
No, the logo of Sanctuary, I think, was so gleaming. It was shining off my eyes like, get me through there. I need to be in there.
Notice the street lights, Joel?
Yeah.
They're actually lighting up the street and the sign. Like, you're living under
What does that little sign underneath the Minutemen thing say?
accorded neutral territory. So basically, no fights inside the walls. Take your beefs elsewhere. Because it's protected by
How
the
long are you
Minutemen.
allowed to be inside this area until you're kicked out? Like, let's say, like I have caps, but let's say I don't have any caps and I just want to wander in. I'm approved to go in because I'm not a bad person.
So your
but I don't
background
have
check
caps.
passes, but you're low on caps.
Yeah.
If you don't have enough to spend in the stores, I'd say you get like a 1-day pass. Literally 1 day.
Like by the time it's nighttime, it's like then you gotta go.
You're out, yeah. If you have caps to spend, you need to reserve a room in the Welcome Center, and then you're allowed to do a day or two. And of course, we have our long-term residents, who I imagine are our most trusted Minutemen who have been with me since the beginning, who are my most trusted, loyal soldiers.
That you pay. You are Littlefinger from Game of Thrones.
This is pretty neat here, this kind of like triangle walkway. We can actually
cool.
walk back down this way.
I didn't sleep very
He
good
even looks
last
sad.
night.
Let's leave this crap hole behind. This is where it's like you come down this elevator right here from the bridge, and there's people like trying to sleep and rest, and the elevator just comes right down into the living quarters. Look at this guy back here. That's the crappiest room in the shanty town.
The elevator going up and down.
This is fun though. You can go up in the elevator right up to the roof. There's our shanty town down below, and we have this little
You
staircase.
see the people walking on top of the roofs too. I bet the kids play a lot. Ching, 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 ching.
It's the corrugated metal sounds all night long. You can walk over right here, and now you're back on the central bridge of the rebuilt Sanctuary Hills. What is that? Oh, it's a Brahmin. I saw the top of the pack moving. It looked like a skeleton person crawling on the ground. That was freaky looking. Okay. So, Joel, that is Sanctuary Hills, inside and out.
Oh my gosh, dude.
We've been here for 4 hours, guys. No, we've been here for... Yeah, we've been recording for 4 hours. No joke.
Dude, this settlement is freaking massive.
I'm with you now, Joel. After this one, I put so much planning into this one, like how the parts came together.
Yes.
I wish it were part of the game so much now. Oh, man. What's really cool is, for me, it is. Like, I'm going to be able to come here carefully. Like, don't fast travel here. Like, walk in so it can load. But I can actually come back and visit sometimes. And I'm definitely going to come back here occasionally to, like, drop off loot and stuff. Yeah, give me some thoughts, and I'm gonna walk in. And I'm gonna show you. I have a separate electric grid for the streetlight system.
I mean, like, what build number is this now, Dave? How many? I was like,
16, maybe 15. I don't know.
gosh, it feels like a lot, but it's like you've gone through a lot of iterations of like styling and stuff, and I think I'm really impressed with just how you did the styling for this area. Like, you have to constantly kind of keep changing things up on yourself to create something new. You know what I mean? Because you can use the same textures, the same things over and over again. But I think the uniformity here works really well, but you also have a level of randomness a little bit too.
Yeah.
With like where the settlements are, where the buildings are. I love the towers. I think I counted like 9 towers. Or something.
It was a lot of towers.
A lot of towers. Yeah. But I love the markets. I love the post office. All the logos are really really cool. The trees, I think, add a really nice touch to it. It's just a change of pace for you as well. Because, again, so much can be really like that base wood kind of texture, you know what I mean? The walls make it really unique, I think. That stone wall is really cool.
I actually prototyped, I think, 4 different designs and then scrapped each one before I landed on that one. Dude, the amount of things I've scrapped, I've probably thrown away 15 hours of work in the settlement over the course of it. Just thrown it away. But I think what I'm most happy about is 15 hours gone, thrown away. It's the creative.
I finished full games in that amount.
It's part of the creative process, though. I think iteration is what makes things good. And so those things that I threw away were replaced by better things. Like, I had a bathhouse originally that was actually built using those sanctuary pieces, but I built it in a new area, and it looked really out of place. Like, oh, we couldn't build it like that perfect.
Well, turn around. I like in the monument, like, I just love, like, I don't know, like the lighting, but I love those little rocks and the rock behind it. Like, I don't know, just...
I placed those, yeah.
Yeah.
It's an original build. I think I've been wanting to do a settlement for a long time that takes a slight step back
from... city. You've been wanting to do a city for a while.
a full town, a city. I've been wanting to do a build that steps back just a little from Dictator Dave, where it's like, it's still authoritarian, but I felt like I needed to deliver all these promises. Like, the last one, Kingsport Lighthouse, was all military, like, port, ships. I was like, what are we fighting for? Is there, like, actually a reason that anyone's even following me at this point? Because I feel like to make the lore convincing, it really would have to be, there has to be something good to balance it out, right?
Yeah.
So here we have some bad, but also a lot of good to help balance the scales a bit. That combined with the slight scrappiness of it, where like the grass is still a little bit dead, like the street isn't perfectly paved again, the grass isn't perfect. It feels like it's growing again, not like it's just a pre-war like copy and paste from the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think this settlement has helped to balance the scales. But something else might change the scales a little bit more.
Yes!
Because there's one last thing we have to look at, Joel. There is one dark secret to the foundation of this new version of Sanctuary Hills. You're literally bathing in this lore right now.
Washing myself in the
you
lore.
Like, scrubbed your face. That was, oh man, I'm actually a little bit worried now. Again, this is a pretty good place to live. There's a lot of good things about it. But you have to break some eggs to make some omelets. And in the years since I established the castle as my military headquarters, in the path to creating this new home, and specifically founding my Minutemen Rangers, who I trust to protect all this hard work, there have been some attempted betrayals along the way. Not everyone has been drinking the General Dave Kool-Aid, or perhaps absorbing the General Dave Sanctuary grass chems.
General Dave grass chems.
Here in Sean's old room, I've hidden my darkest secret. One that I've managed to keep from even Piper, even the mayor of Sanctuary. Some of the eggs that had to be broken to build this settlement. Let's go ahead and check out the cellar that was under my house before the war and what it's become now. The purpose of those Rangers, those Minutemen Rangers, is to enforce both military and civilian law and order and basically do my bidding. They're my secret police, let's be honest. As the years rolled by, I needed that force that I could trust. And I learned very early on that not everyone who volunteered could be trusted. Some of my earliest Minutemen recruits, who were in line to become the first Minutemen Rangers years ago, betrayed me or attempted to. But thanks to a spy with connections to Pleasure Island, I found out about the attempted coup ahead of time and actually shut it down quietly. This cellar is where I took the perpetrator back to. This was the ultimate betrayal for me, as I was trying to grow the Minutemen's settlement empire and make plans for Sanctuary. My first ranger betrayed me, only months after they were established. See his head down there. So, I captured him thanks to information from Joel's spy from Pleasure Island. When Sanctuary was still Fortress Sanctuary, I drug him back here to the secret cellar, and for weeks, he got to listen to General Dave's survival tips, and over and over again, as the flag of those he had betrayed hung over his cell.
I like that.
And week by week, General Dave did what was necessary. With the tools at my disposal, I got the names of every single member of the conspiracy out of him before he died. Then, I finished him off. And that's how I was able to reestablish the Minutemen Rangers with people who I could trust. I completed a purge thanks to the information that I gleaned from this ranger whose name is not even remembered anymore. It is permanently forgotten. But, as you can see, I did keep one small token. He had the original first Minutemen Ranger hat, which is now mine. So going forward, that will belong to me. I'm going to leave his betrayal behind. But that is how the Rangers were established, with an attempted coup and takeover of the Minutemen years ago at the rebuilding of Sanctuary. General Dave did what had to be done to build what you saw above ground. It was the price that had to be paid for order and safety. Because at the end of the day, that's what matters.
Secret watching station.
Order and safety. That's the tour, guys. Hope you've enjoyed. What do you think?
Dun, dun, dun.
Final thoughts for real this time.
Oh no! I mean, dude, wonderful build. Wonderful build. Great lore.
You were expecting the end, weren't you? Like something.
Well, I mean, well, now you have to, Dave. I've raised that bar, Dave. No, I like it. Yeah, no, this is great. No, it connects well with your character too.
And this makes me happy, even as goody two-shoes General Dave who destroyed the Institute because that's what had to be done. Even though my character has taken some dark turns along the way, I still like this because I feel like it is the apocalypse, and like that's the kind of thing that would actually happen is I would be laying all these grand plans, like finally I can give control to someone else a bit. We'll have these rangers to help enforce the laws. We'll have this new government. And then I find out, sure enough, someone's planning a betrayal. And sure enough, time to build a torture basement.
Time to build a torture basement.
It fits, I think. Sometimes you have to do what has to be done. But yeah, guys, that is the final part of the tour. I'm looking at my tour checklist here. Somewhere between 22 and 30 points of interest overall. It is an entire city. Hope you guys enjoyed. This was so much fun to work on, but I'm exhausted. I'm ready for a break.
If you didn't enjoy this settlement, I don't know what you would enjoy. Oh my gosh.
Me building in real life, sweating.
Save yourself. Save me.
Thanks for coming out, guys, and we'll see you next time. And with that, guys, the tour is finally complete. We're going to go ahead and roll that battle footage as a massive attack begins, where a massive group of super mutants, as well as the Brotherhood of Steel, are going to attempt to attack the settlement. But let me go ahead and cover a couple of things as that starts. First of all, again, thank you guys for your support. Your enthusiasm and support is greatly appreciated. Additionally, if you guys are interested, I'll be posting my design document for this build in the comments down below and in the description if you want to see my thought process and how things progressed from the beginning of the build back in late June to its final tour at the end of August. Unfortunately, as far as mods go, I can't release this settlement as a mod because I built it in the in-game settlement building system and not in the creation kit, so I can't just export it from the game as a settlement. However, if you're on PC, there is a settlement blueprints transfer mod where I can export an in-game settlement to a blueprint that you can then import into your save game. I'm going to look at the possibility of doing that, but it won't quite be the same because, again, this build was a massive project, and it's not just a in-game workshop settlement. It is that, but it's also a number of creation kit mods, custom textures, custom models, custom sound effects, custom terrain texture painting. Basically, a ton of different things had to all come together to make the video that you guys have just watched, and it's not anything that I can just hit a button and say, you know, upload so you guys can enjoy it as well. I wish I could, it's just not that simple. I'm going to look into it, but of course, no promises. It is just a complicated process. Okay guys, enough rambling. Let's enjoy that attack on Sanctuary. Surprise, surprise, I don't think it's going too well for them. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.
If you need fixing up.
Just so you know, I'm keeping my eye on you.
Nothing I hate more than the way those scumbags. If you're really planning, put a few down for me.
Gonna splatter your... Bathe in your blood!
This time.
It's over. For now.
Hey, how's it going?